Good afternoon, judges. My name is Nikki Bateman. I am the founder and CEO of MatchMyPlace. I'm a licensed real estate agent. I've been an agent for over 10 years. I'm a VEI graduate, an Army veteran, and I'm a UCF alum. So we at MatchMyPlace believe that privacy is a fundamental right. Yet, when consumers go to sell their property, they are required to forfeit this fundamental right to privacy. A little over a year ago, I was meeting with a customer of mine. He was an Orange County sheriff, his wife was a nurse, and he had a 3-year-old son at home. His biggest concern is that he had shielded his information from public record because of his occupation. And he had said, what can I do to protect the safety and security of my family and limit who has access to the knowledge of not only what I do, but where I live? And I had to tell him, unfortunately, in 2019, the National Association of Realtors instituted the Clear Cooperation Policy. And that policy states that I am required to share with their participants his private information. He looked me in the eye and he said, Nikki, there's got to be a better way. So after that conversation, and multiple conversations with first responders, we developed MatchMyPlace. And that's an opportunity for individuals that want to sell their property to do it the way they want to. And what they want to do is market their property to the public. They want to partner with real estate professionals, yet they want to keep their privacy intact and not have to sacrifice privacy for equity. So the market's already responded to this gap. We see it with the iBuyers, Keller offers, OfferPad, yet you can list your house with one of these. No one will know what your address is. They won't even know that it's for sale. Yet you will sacrifice 15 to 17% of your equity to maintain your privacy. Now, we don't recommend this, yet you can do for sale by owner. Most for sale by owners, it's about 7 to 10% of the market. You have no opportunity to vet who knows your location. So we say low privacy and a larger amount of equity. They'll leave about 10% of their equity for not working with professionals. You can work with a professional real estate agent, and we think that is a great way to sell your property. Yet we cannot guarantee that we can hold your information private, and again, we must share that with the other participants. So what we've developed is MatchMyPlace, again, so consumers can do those 3 things. They can market their property to the public, they can work with professionals in partnership, yet have complete say of to who and when the location of their property and who comes in and out of their property is shared. So who does this affect? Now, Florida has legislation that allows you to shield your information from public record. Those are first responders, doctors, nurses, politicians, judges. We talked about my friend who was an Orange County sheriff, and we've seen most recently with Justice Kavanaugh, having your information. Now, we serve those who serve, yet all the money in the world will not replace the safety and security of your family. So what have we done? Last year, we did a strategic alliance with Keller Williams. Now this program is specifically for Keller Williams agents only. Now they offer a suite of services for their agents to target and serve their customers. They have their own iBuyer, they have their own mortgage, they have their own insurance, they have new homes. So we see Match being another service that they can offer, so I don't have to sit at a table with a first responder and say that there's nothing I can do. So we've already launched in Florida. With this partnership, they've given us access to their franchisees and their agents. So we've gone and done. In May, we had 150 agent subscribers. So our primary customer is agents, and the agents are then able to offer this to their customers. We have now 268 agents, and over Q2, we're going to be training another 1,000 agents. By the end of Q3, we expect to have 2,000 agents covering the state of Florida. And what that means is each agent pays us a $50 a month subscription fee in order to offer this as another service to their customers. Excuse me. So, in effect, 2,000 subscription members are about $100,000 a month in revenue. Our next opportunities, we're going to launch to the Southeast, and that's Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. Then the Gulf states, which is Mississippi and Alabama. And then, Mississippi and Louisiana, and then the Carolinas. Now, when I've said we've had a strategic alliance with Keller Williams, again, they've given us an opportunity to come alongside them and offer this as a suite. Yet our customers are those agents. So our launch plan is we teach the agents how to use the platform, and then we have the agents reach out to their database. So we're not reaching out to consumers directly, yet we're teaching them how to service that end user. We have a wonderful team. We're lean and mean. We have James Vela, he's our Chief Technology Officer. He's the one that I say, can we do this? And I've literally cut things out and put them on paper, scanned them and sent them to him, and he makes that all happen. We have Murray Coleman. Now he's our broker partner, and what he does is make sure that we can function as a brokerage, stay in compliance, and still provide this service in partnership with agents. And then, of course, the most vital person on our team right now is Terrence Brennan. He makes sure that we are in line with corporate state law and to make sure that we are building an infrastructure that we can grow from state to state. So again, my name is Nikki Bateman, the founder and CEO of MatchMyPlace. We are here to fill a gap. We are scalable, and we're here most definitely to serve those who serve. Thank you for your time.
Nikki, I got a couple of questions for you. You initially started by saying that it's a service that provides the seller to maintain their identity, or to guard their identity while selling the property. And then I think I heard in there, the seller can see the would-be buyers and pick and choose who they want to sell their property or come in and outside of their properties, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So have you put anything in place to reduce the risk or the appearance of housing discrimination? It seems to me that we could run the risk of a community of people ensuring that the community remains the way it looks currently, you know? So have we thought through that, how we can keep a bank out of trouble by getting somehow down the road of mortgages and lending that had discriminatory practices built within it as a result of this? Have we thought that far?
So we have, that's an excellent question. So with this model, a couple things. We're partnering with licensed real estate agents.
Yeah.
So they have their licenses, they have to abide by all of that regulatory. And which is why we're partnering with a very specific organization that's a cultural match, because they've been the #1 real estate training company year over year. We're not going to partner with any agent that wants access to that. Second of all, when we talk about banks and their lending practices, we've been offered a lot of opportunities of different organizations that want to partner with us and be some sort of a referral agency. We've turned those down because we want to make sure that we put the end user, who is our consumer, at the highest level. Yet they still have to abide, because those licensees and those mortgage brokers have to abide by their own licensing requirements. That's our stopgap. We're not allowing individuals to be able, I'm thinking you're referencing sort of redlining and that type of practice.
The seller, I could say I want my home to only be sold to a black person, or maybe not say it, but utilize the app to actually screen everyone else out and only sell my house to a person that looks like me.
So we protect on the both end. The buyer's identity is just as private as the seller.
All right.
So on both sides.
On both sides.
So we like to say that we're digitally based, yet physically enhanced. So every individual, which is why we're launching through agents, not doing a large media buy to have consumers come to us directly. A, expensive. B, the customer care infrastructure would be overwhelming, and then we know that we're going to be challenged in the marketplace. We wanted to align ourselves with what I like to call a 600-pound gorilla. Keller Williams is privately owned, and I know very few people that are as gorilla-like as him to make sure that the end user, who are the buyers and sellers, their identity is protected, And we provide, Mr. Brennan does a great job making sure our privacy policy, our subscription policy, as well as our user policy is in line with all of those issues.
No, I'm encouraged by that. It actually works the other way. Both sides are guarded. It actually ensures fairness.
Anonymity does have its privileges, absolutely. Yeah. Good question, thank you.
I have a question. If I'm a buyer and I may be on the early end of a relationship with an agent, maybe I haven't signed with an agent,
sure,
and I'm just looking for homes, it would appear that the seller's homes would not show up in searches because we're masking location, identity. Are we missing out on a percentage of the sales, the normal sales cycle, the sales opportunity, where people do perhaps 20 or 30% of isolation of an area they want to be based on what they can learn on their own?
Yes, so we did account for that, and that's an excellent question. Let me sort of expand what that process is. So we say search, join, match. So consumers can become members on our platform, and they can see basic information of what properties that we have available. And it is, this is the city it's in, here's a pretty picture of it, here's the price. If they want additional information, which is how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, additional pictures, then we ask them to join, which is giving us first name, last name, email address, and contact information. We want good data on our site. And at that time, either they'll come to us through their agent or they'll come to us independently. We will assign them to an agent that can foster them through that process. So when they are, what we say is ready, willing, and able to buy, they have access to that. And that agent would be the conduit to, if they are ready, willing, and able to buy, would be the conduit to reach out to the other partner agent who has access to that person's, personal information, to begin that conversation. Because there are individuals that have very long buying cycles. If they're selling, yet building, that's a very long cycle, and they want the security of being under contract or in that relationship. And we have buyers that are looking for a unicorn. We have sell by. The more conversations we're having with really smart people in this industry, the more we're seeing a greater need. I developed it for first responders. Yet we're seeing landowners. You have 100 acres. You don't want to advertise that publicly, because in this day and age, bring your trash or your tent. So they want to advertise their vacant land to consumers, yet keep that location private. Our search, which is genius, James is back there who developed it, it's actually a conglomeration of every address that we have. If you've ever done Airbnb, they'll kind of tell you where it is, but not right where the location is. We're very similar to that. Did that answer your question?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I suspect in order to provide this service to others that the agents are simply adding this as a cost of sales. They're not passing that off, or because I'm a first responder who wants my privacy protected, does that come at any additional cost to me?
So it's no cost to the consumer. It's an added value. We've had great market research today speaking to some of the sheriff's department's HR. At any time a consumer can search for free, get a line for free. There's two ways to add that cost. At no time, and most agents will not pass that along to the consumer. That's not best practices for us. Buyers in the state of Florida traditionally pay no fees. They're paid by the seller. The seller would have, if we were able to have a match and they wanted to match inside of it, it would be traditional commission. For this to be a tool for agents comparatively to lead generation or database development tools, we are less than 1% of the general cost. You see tools like this that are $1,000 a month, month after month. We don't want to nickel and dime the agent. We truly want to serve the end user. So we've made it very cost effective for an agent to have it by themselves, yet we've also offered it to the entire market center. So if they want to pay for it on behalf of all their agents, we reduce it all the way down to $10 a month. Yeah, for us to be cost effective, we expect each Keller Williams office, in total there's 810, either 30 agents or $1,500 a month. And that's kind of where our projections are based on.
Yeah. To me, I think you couched it the sales prop to Keller Williams was it was a competitive advantage for them. They're adding this layer, and that's why they grabbed onto it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, especially with the blind effect on both sides. Your numbers, though, I was a little confused by your profit margins there. So where are you now?
So we're in June.
Yeah.
We have 268 agents currently subscribers.
Okay.
That's 2 full market centers. Now our first 2, each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated.
Right.
So the owner of those 2 market centers said, this is a no-brainer across the board. I want to give it to all of my agents. So those 268 agents are at the $10 a month, $1,500 a month per office, month over month. Now, the other 6 offices that we're doing the initial launch in North Florida, they want us to go directly to their agents and have those agents decide what we call self-pay, which is the $50 per month. So I can tell you in the state of Florida, there's 60 Keller Williams offices. In the Southeast, they sort by region. So there's a little over 13,000 agents in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. And each of those regions, so we're talking about 3 regions, North Florida, South Florida, and the Southeast, are owned by an individual as well. So we've taken this idea to first the regional owners, then to Keller Williams corporate, and then down to those directors who run that region. We want to make sure that they know that we're playing in their playground.
What's your Q4
So Q4
projection?
is
what is that based off of? How many agents?
That's 2,000 agents.
Okay. But they've already pushed the decision down to individual agents, right?
It depends on the market.
Depends on the market. So you don't have conversion data based upon individual, how that's going to perform, nor do you know. And you've just encompassed all 2,000. You've
Yes,
projected all 2,000.
I'll tell you where we got that conversion data from.
Yeah.
So each office, and offices, it's the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule, about 20% of the agents are the high producing agents. And so we're saying that that segment is probably the segment. Each office has about 150 agents. So we're saying about 30 agents per office would be agent subscribers if the office chose not to. So we've been as conservative as possible without actually seeing those conversions. And let me show you as we get into, you'll see we have fairly rapid growth in 2023, then 2024, and then I bring it way down in 2025 because I can't see that far. I know they have over 180,000 agents now. I don't know what our year-over-year subscriber retention is going to be, and I don't know if they're going to have markets shift, what their true agent count is going to be. So I have, the further I get out to 2024, 2025, that's where I would start to make, I'm not going to say wild assumptions, yet my best guess. I know what office turnover rates are, and I know what, in general, the population is. Now, we use these numbers for a very specific reason. $1,500 a month is $18,000 a year. An agent who's a Keller Williams agent will pay into and cap at $18,000 a year. So my conversation with the offices is, with this value add, could you attract or retain a producing agent? For them, it's a no-brainer. And I say, we don't have to make all of the money. If we can serve our agents and have them serve those who serve or that segment of their customers, it's a win-win either way.
What does it, I don't mean to monopolize you. I like this.
Please.
What does it cost you to onboard an agent? What's the profit margin per agent?
So we do it a couple different ways. We're preparing to scale. And I can say with scaling scares me, yet it's travel. We want to have our first onboardings as much as possible to be an in-office training. Now the good news is we're training with Keller Williams tools, their 135s, their 411s. We're giving them the drip campaigns for their customers. So I would say for me to onboard an office, and that's really where my headspace is probably $1,000 an office. So I would say for the whole state of Florida, that's $60,000. Then the ongoing coaching and training, we're doing monthly masterminds. We have back end, we've used Kajabi that has scripts, videos, additional training for them to use to be able to use our messaging and giving them action plans to be able to use this tool effectively. Once we get up and we need to have additional staff, both technology and marketing, customer care is a big space right now. We've just brought in Tony, who's our Chief Marketing Officer, to make sure that we handle that either hand off or development of those agents as carefully as possible.
MatchMyPlace, everyone.
Thank you so much.